Hello and welcome into the Kings Recap Show at youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. Rami Makloff, your host this evening after the Kings go down and have their three-game win streak stopped. 126-113 the final at Fiserv Forum tonight. Really a back and forth game and a fun game to watch for most of the night. Things took a turn for the worse in the second half of the fourth quarter there, but throughout the first three quarters, these two teams really going back and forth. The Bucks grabbed the lead in the first quarter after really good start for Harrison Barnes and Domantas Sabonis. Just no answer for Giannis from the beginning tonight. 12 points in the first quarter and 4 rebounds for Giannis in that first quarter. And that was sort of a theme for the night. And another theme for the night, and there was a lot of good to take out of this. And I'm going to get to that as the show and the evening goes on. And I welcome your comments over on the YouTube page. We'll read some of those before we get out of here tonight on the Kings Recap Show. But De'Aaron Fox, man, and I know he said that, you know, he was banged up and struggling with the bug that's gotten a lot of people. It got me last week. And to be honest with you, and I'm not even playing basketball, I just talk about it. I went back to work on Friday, but man, I wasn't feeling normal till yesterday. So I get that this bug sticks with you. But if the Bucks had, or excuse me, if the Kings had the De'Aaron Fox that we saw in the first 15, 16 games of this season, then we might be talking about a big upset in Milwaukee tonight. But Fox, just 1 for 3 in the first quarter. He was 2 for 7 at halftime. He finished the night 5 and 16 with just 15 points. But despite that, the Kings stuck with it. It was a rough start to the second quarter. Classic Mike Brown early timeout at the 10:50 mark. And then something that has become somewhat of a trend and a theme for the Kings, Malik Monk, and it started at the end of the first quarter, but then into the second quarter, just instant offense, instant scoring for this Kings team, and really the one who kept him in the game there in the second quarter. But a big free throw disparity started there in the second quarter, and that was one of the things that really did the Bucks in tonight. Excuse me, the Kings in tonight. At halftime, the Kings were 4 of 5 from the free throw line. Milwaukee 13 of 16, and that'll kill you, man. Those are free points, and it's hard not to give those up when Giannis is getting to the line. You know, that can be an adventure, but hitting free throws, he was 9 of 10 on the night. He and Jru Holiday had 18 points at halftime, and those were really the two guys for a while there. As we get into the third quarter, Jru Holiday was really the guy for this Bucks team in sort of keeping them out ahead of the Kings and helping to put this one away. Something big happened in the third quarter, though. At least I think it's something big for this Kings team. That was that Keegan Murray woke up, and he's been bouncing back for the last 2 or 3 games, but I thought tonight was a big night for Keegan Murray. He strips Giannis there in the third quarter, strips him of the basketball, that is, and then a big dunk to sort of get the Kings rolling out of a timeout that Mike Brown called at the 8:43 mark when he didn't like what was going on. Wanted to talk about it. They get 2 stops. They go 4 of 4. Started with that Keegan Murray dunk, 8-2 run. Bucks answer with a 6-0 run, but then there's Keegan Murray again with a big 3, and he makes it 95-92. They exchange a couple baskets, 97-94 after 3 quarters. So then you head to the fourth, and another big dunk, this time from Chimezie Metu, as well as a Davion Mitchell coast-to-coast off a rebound, little delay step layup, made it a 1-point game. And then the Bucks, 17-6 run, and it was over. And it started right there at the 6-minute mark. But like I said, you need more from De'Aaron Fox when you're facing the class of the NBA. And I'm not going to come down too hard on the guy. He got off to an amazing start this season and really carried this basketball team in a lot of ways. And if he's dinged up and if he's got that bug that's going around and can really, really kick your ass, then I get it, man. But look at what you got tonight, and you still could not top the Bucks. And it makes sense because that's one of the teams that's the class of the NBA when you're talking about the Milwaukee Bucks. But you get 20 from Harrison Barnes, 15 apiece from Murray, and excuse me, 15 from Murray, 16 from Malik Monk off the bench, 13 from Kevin Herter. Domantas Sabonis with a near triple double again, 23, 12, and 7. If you get 25 from De'Aaron Fox, 23, 25 points from De'Aaron Fox, it makes such a huge difference, man. And the shot just isn't there. He was 5 of 16 from the field, 1 of 6 from the 3-point line. You need De'Aaron Fox to be better. But honestly, tonight, all in all, big picture, when it comes to this Kings team, I thought that was a really, really strong performance from them, man. And I don't want to keep talking about moral victories when it comes to this Kings team. And I know Kings fans don't want to keep hearing about moral victories when it comes to this team. But man, that was the class of the NBA, one of the top 2 or 3 teams in this league. And the Kings were right there with them for most of the evening. Hello from Q says hello from Milwaukee. Rami, your hair is looking good. Cross streams. I can't cross stream with my old friend Bart from the Fan in Milwaukee. I don't have authorization from Bonneville International, to be quite frank with you. I would love to. Keep your fake love says, what do you think is going on with Kevin's 3-point shooting? Kevin Herter has cooled off a little bit. So many positives to take out of this game. Domantas Sabonis, we were talking yesterday on the Counties and Rami show weekdays, 3 to 6 on Sactown Sports 1140. And he continues to make a very, very strong case to be an all-star in the Western Conference. Again, another near triple-double at 23, 12, and 7. Keegan Murray, like I said, the fact that this guy's waking up, and it's not just the line when it comes to Keegan Murray. Yeah, he had 15 points, 3 of 6 from the 3-point line, 6 of 10 from the field, grabbed you 4 rebounds. But the thing with Keegan Murray, and this was what impressed me so much about him in the summer league and in the preseason, and what I want to see from him here in the regular season, and as we move deeper into the regular season, is those big moments, man, and him not shrinking in the big moments. I wouldn't say he's shrunk in any big moment, but tonight you saw him really, really step up for this Kings team in a few big spots, especially there in the third quarter, and do some things that gave the Kings some real momentum in some of those runs there where they got on the heels of the Bucks and just could not get over the line and pass them up. As well as Malik Monk, he continues to be just a force off the bench for this Kings team in 29 minutes, 16 points, the playmaking of his 6 rebounds as well with 1 assist. A lot of real positives in this one, man. And honestly, I'm feeling good about this Kings team after their performance tonight against the Bucks. I thought they gave them everything that they wanted, and that's a really, really good basketball team that they were up against tonight on their turf and in their home. Yours low says Fox got to be the worst max player right now next to Westbrook. Let's not get carried away. Let's not get carried. I mean, come on, man. De'Aaron Fox was getting MVP chants at the line earlier, just a couple of weeks ago, and they were every bit deserved. Let's not act that like De'Aaron Fox is we can just call him and his contract a bust after a couple of bad weeks, in which we know that he's been dinged up and has been struggling with a virus that's been going around. Let's see. The beautiful child says, Rami, your Milwaukee Bucks are good. Yeah, they are. Q says Kings have a good young roster. You all 100% won that Packers trade, cheering for you all. Pacers trade, cheering for you all. in the West. And Jake says, good to see Delhi out there for a little bit. I think, yeah, that is Jake, my old friend from Milwaukee, and a Delhi fan from its days in Milwaukee. Again, the Kings go down to the Bucks, 126 to 113. Giannis, too much. Jru Holiday, too much. 35 points, 31 points for those two guys. The other star in this one, and the beautiful child chiming in again, says, I wish Brook Lopez was on our team. Yeah, man, the Kings could really use a Brook Lopez type. But you know what? A lot of teams around the NBA could use a Brook Lopez type. That guy, man, is one of the more underrated players in this league. And you see the line, and it's good enough. 17 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists for Brook Lopez. But the impact, and he is really exactly what this Kings team needs. The impact that he has between his physicality around the basket, his ability to protect the rim, and then for a guy that size to be able to stretch you out to the 3-point line. And tonight he was just 2 of 7 from the 3-point line, but he shoots about 40% from out there. And that really, really changes the way that defenses are going, what looks they're going to throw at you on a night-to-night basis. And that's kind of what they want from Domas. He's not quite the 3-point shooter that Brook Lopez is, and he does a lot of things much better than Brook Lopez is. And like I said, I think Domas is an all-star, but they could really use a big man on this roster that does some of the things for you that Brook Lopez does. And Jake says Lopez for Defensive Player of the Year. At this point, he has about as strong a case as anybody. And one more comment here. Lydia says, I just wish the Kings could find a way to defend in the paint. Most teams have at least one player having a career night on us when they normally do not. I mean, I don't know who had a career night on the Bucks tonight that normally does not. 35 points is not a career night for Giannis. 31 points, real good night for Jru Holiday. Not a career night. And Brook Lopez, when you talk about points in the paint, 17 points is a solid night, but the point stands that Lydia makes that the defense in the paint needs to be better. There's no doubt about that. But all in all, yeah, you take the L, and the Kings now fall to 13-9 on the season. 3-game win streak stopped. 5-5 on the road, and stay on the road after this one. And again, I know you don't want to keep hearing about moral victories. I don't want to keep talking about moral victories, but there have been their share of actual victories so far this year. And when you go toe to toe with the Bucks for 3.5 quarters, and you're just overpowered by Giannis Antetokounmpo and Jru Holiday and Brook Lopez the way that they were, yeah, it exposes some flaws for this Kings team and things that I think they're going to need to address somehow, some way. When you talk about their roster construction and doing some things about the points in the paint and the rebounding and some of the things going on there. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna put this one up, not in the win column, but in the positives column for this Kings team. I won't say moral victory, but I'm kind of essentially basically saying a moral victory. And another comment on my hair, David B says those locks. Yeah, I mean, I got good hair, folks. I don't have a lot going for me, but I do have the good hair. Thanks for checking in with me, Rami Makloff, on the Kings recap show here at youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. Sure, plenty more Kings talk tomorrow morning on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, starting at 6 a.m. Well, right here on YouTube, and also on your airwaves at 11:40 a.m. and as well as in the afternoons. I'll be back in the afternoon with Nick Cattles, reunited after Nick had the day off this afternoon, starting at 3 p.m., taking you right up to Thursday night football. Thanks for checking us out. We'll talk to you next time here on the Kings Recap Show.